Hey, yo, what is good, my legendary beast? It is your boy Nate. It is officially 9:37 a.m. It is Thursday, no, December 18th, 2025. And my current mood right now, I would say, is kind of melancholy, honestly. I've been feeling like that for a couple of days, and it's kind of due in part to multiple things all mingling together at once, and my autism not really knowing how to deal with it. So, you know how you have a lot of goals that you have set for yourself? And you know that you want to get those things done, but you just don't know how to start doing it, if that makes any sense. It's like, yeah, I want to pass my GED test. I want to start taking my content creation stuff more seriously. And I want to actually be able to afford my own apartment and actually build up the skills required to get some passive income work on like Upwork and stuff. It's either that I don't have a consistent plan in order to build up the skills to get to the point where I want to be, or I kind of just forget the whole fucking plan to begin with and I have to start back at square one. Because me being honest with myself, I haven't been drawing for the past couple of days now. And that's one of the skills that I wanted to build up since the beginning. But I haven't really found like a consistent way to actually build up the skills required to start drawing at a professional level. And I think it's also due in part to the fact that I don't know how to actually be patient with the process of actually learning a new skill itself. My ADHD and autism kind of combine in a way that makes it so that the dopamine that I get from learning a new skill doesn't hit immediately. It needs to actually see results for me to actually continue wanting to do it. But it's not the same when it comes to things like uploading a YouTube video or uploading a TikTok or like playing TF2, for example. Those results are pretty much immediate and are easily measurable within a consistent way to actually visually see. In TF2, I can see my kill streak increasing the more times I get better at aiming with the Widowmaker. With TikTok, I can see the numbers on my views going up. The more entertaining I get, the better my jokes land. But I can't really see how much better I am as an artist from when I actually started, because I can only see the mistakes that I make, which is, I'm pretty sure, a fucking common thing that a lot of artists deal with. I kind of gotta cut out the swearing because I am outside and I don't want other people walking by and accidentally getting a couple of F-bombs dropped in their eardrum when they don't want to hear that. You want me to stop cursing so much? Put me in a public setting. That's what you definitely need. When I'm comfortable with you, I will curse a lot. If I'm not comfortable with you, you will not hear a single swear. But besides that, I think I just need to find a consistent means of growing each skill in a consistent and measured way to where I can actually see improvement so I can continuously get the drive to want to continue going, but also so it doesn't feel like I'm just running around in a monotonous circle, just repeating the same damn thing over and over and over again. At least with the GED, I kind of have some semblance to go off of because there's concrete like methods to continuously study to improve my skills either one way or another. Because I basically split up my GED studies into chapters, and I'm pretty much going to take the GED test next month. Actually, I'm probably going to plan to take the GED test in the next 2 weeks, actually. But the way that I actually structured my GED studies is actually in 9 categories, and each category has a different field of study that I need to, at the very least, understand the basics of or downright master, like basic arithmetic in terms of addition, subtraction, multiplication, long division, multiplication. I think I already said multiplication. Basically, giving myself multiplication tables that I have to fill out within a set amount of time, or giving myself daily long division drills, things that I consistently want to get better at. But like, what is the equivalent of that for like drawing, Okay, I drew circles for like 15 days in a row. I still don't know how to draw a circle semi decently to where it actually matches up. It's damn near impossible to draw a perfect circle, but how can I draw a circle good enough to actually draw a skull from it, Okay, I just said something in my head in a mocking tone. I was basically thinking, oh, just start tracing, basically trying to mock that idea. But I just remembered that that was literally part of the fucking line of study that I was actually hyping myself up for in the legendary quickie that I made. I completely forgot that was one of the things. So I guess I'm just yapping because I am stupid. Sometimes you kind of get in your own head a lot, and the weeds and like minute details of the things that we want to do kind of get gummed up in the process. And whenever you're thinking about something in a grandiose sense towards like a big picture, you kind of lose sight of how to do the individual things, even though you already planned to do that in the first fucking place. I know I'm just rambling right now, but this is called legendary yapping for a reason. We all know that I'm don't really have a point to anything that I'm saying. But aside from that, in terms of nutrition and my physical fitness goes, I actually got back into the gym because I got the clearance from my physical therapist to continue going to the gym, but to actually like start going to the gym again, but not for my legs because my legs are still healing, but for my arms instead. So because I don't want to be like uneven, I don't want to have just jacked legs and my arms still look like freaking string beans. So I'm gonna start going to the gym like twice a week for my arms specifically. So I'm gonna try to do like arm workouts, do my arms. I think I should actually split it up into 3 days actually. My front body for Wednesday, my back for Thursday, my arms for Friday. Yeah, I could probably do it like that. Yeah, I think I just figured it out. Yeah, I can easily do it like 3 days, 3 days out of the week. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for my front, my chest, my chest, my core, and my lats, my back, and the other days and Thursday can be for my back, my delts, and my traps, and whatever the heck other muscle groups there are. I'm not a freaking gym bro fully, so I don't really know the muscle groups off of the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure you can get a large picture of what I'm talking about. But in good news, I actually have learned some things for my GED. I learned how to solve for the quadratic equation formula, and that's actually something that I'm working on a video about. So if there's anybody out there that's in high school or something like that that actually needs to learn how to solve for the quadratic equation, how to solve the quadratic formula that negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times C times A divided by 2 times A, I believe. I think that's how the equation goes, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think that's how the equation goes. I know how to solve for that because here's a funny thing. Because I live in New York City, I actually I had taken the New York City regions, but I don't think I passed it like by a long shot. You can hear the wind right now, but that's besides the point. Like I said before, I'm outside. Um, oh God, I just burped. But because I took the New York City regions, um, I was actually able to find PDF files of the actual Regents exam, and it's actually on the New York Department of Education website, and you can actually download previous years' Regents exams, whether that be in math, social studies, ELA, or science, and I can use those as study guides. And I know AI is a bad thing in general for the grand scheme of humanity and reality. It's making people dumber. It's making like the earth dang near very polluted by wasting a bunch of resources and materials. But I feel like this is primarily due to the fact that people want to use AI as a catch-all for stupid things and not as a assistant for certain things. And the main reason why I am really angry with most AI companies right now is because of the fact that they're actually causing most industries to become way more expensive, whether that be with inflation pricing by them charging exorbitant amounts for different mechanical parts when it comes to when it comes to PC parts, or the environmental damage that it's doing by the amount of water that it's using in terms of cooling the systems. So, yes, AI does need to be dealt with in a regulatory manner. And I do believe that it is a net negative in the way that it's being implemented now. But aside from that point, I have been using AI in terms of helping me study for GED test by basically giving it questions like, hey, how do I solve for this equation? Don't tell me the answer, just tell me the steps of how to solve it. What is it asking? Or just like tell me how to identify problems like this in the future, or basically like what are the words that basically correlate to this question that it's asking me. And actually, that's how I figured out how to solve the quadratic formula. Because as much as people want to ignore this fact, most people fucking suck at teaching. And I will include myself in that fact. I freaking suck at teaching. There are a lot of people that can do it extremely well, but those are pretty much in, I would say, in specific cases where the person that they're actually teaching actually is more susceptible to their teaching style, rather. Because for the vast majority of people that fall into the category like me, where I don't want any, like, oh, this is how you feel out the vibe of what this is saying, or like vibes based teaching methods. I don't like that. I just want people to tell me, okay, this is what you're going to need to master first, and this is what you're going to need to learn in order to answer a question, because this is where this is going to be implemented, and this is where this is going to be implemented, and you need to follow this in this specific set of steps in order to get to this answer. And realistically, a robot is the best way to actually learn that kind of information from, in that kind of set from, because humans don't really know how to keep it simple, or in layman's terms, trim the fat of the unnecessary details that they usually add. I mean, look at me, for example. I'm making an entire podcast about my freaking life and how my day is going, and I'm only on talking about the freaking GED test, even though I've been talking about this crap for the past 4 months now. I'm able to recognize the irony in that, honestly, and I don't even think that that's irony. I think that that's coincidental. But in general terms, with the way that it's being implemented now, I really do believe that AI does need to be regulated heavily, because these companies are just putting that crap in anything and everything, and it's basically making everything worse. But as long as the tools exist in the state that they are, I'm going to try and use them in the most responsible way by not paying for it, downloading AI models instead of actually using the ones that are hosted on the internet, because that actually plays into the fact that data centers are being used for that type of thing. So I'm going to only use my device's native resources in order to actually generate the queries that it's actually asking. But I still need to learn how to code in order to actually put that AI language into a format that my computer can actually read, which is why I'm actually trying to learn Python and other coding languages, so I can at the very least have a native AI on my computer that I am in complete control of, which is what I encourage other people to do instead of actually relying on AIs from these companies, because the more you actually know how to make your own, the more the less you're going to rely on other places like ChatGPT or whatever the fuck, or Gemini or all the shit like that. Oh my god. I tried to install Linux on my computer a while back, but that shit was a fucking dumpster fire. But I'm still going to try to learn how to do all this stuff, because it all comes with freedom and the understanding that you're not actually participating or paying into something that is actually problematic and harming every other industry, not just the ones that you are particularly affected by. That's where ethics comes in. Not only caring about the things that affect you, but caring about the things that affect everyone else. That's where empathy and ethics come in, which I feel is an emotion that most people have forgotten about nowadays. But aside from that, let's talk about the video that I made earlier on this week. Actually, no, I think it was last week. Actually, it was a Saturday that I posted this video on Instagram. I posted it on TikTok and YouTube. It was about the whole freaking Iron Mouse for Kai drama and all that other stuff. Okay, so here is my final take on that. I don't think I should be paying attention to any more IRL streamers for the foreseeable future, because I feel like my mental state has been severely drained from the community that watches these kind of IRL streamers, because I'm going to be 100% honest. There has not been a single intelligent comeback that I've ever seen come out of the mouth of these people in the fucking comment section of the video that I made about this whole freaking drama. And it's basically making me have brain cells die whenever I read the eclectic brain dead comments of that video, because it is either hype manning or just bullying like behavior that is literally proving the point of the video by saying, okay, yeah, all these like content creator, but I don't even feel like I don't feel like calling them content creators is justifiable because they're relying on other people's content. That's besides the point. The main point that I wanted to get to is the fact that I should realistically tone down getting into these kind of topics and arguments and kind of debate level ideological freaking angry rants, because the more that I do that, the more that I get sucked into wanting to scream at these people, because I can sense that this is becoming a, I don't want to say obsession, but it's becoming a level of hatred that is equivalent to 50 Cent and Ja Rule. Like, the level of hatred that I have is based in the fact that I feel like these people are fake. They're fake in the way that they actually react to situations in real life. They're fake in the way that they actually don't have any talent and try to steal other people's content in order to make it their own. Because 90% of the people that are actually in the IRL streamer category are not actually making anything. They're just reacting to other people's content and reacting to other. All right, my microphone cut out just then, and I don't know why it did that, but I feel like I gotta wrap this up because it is actually very freaking cold outside right now. So I will continue this later on. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna wrap it up here. But yeah, basically, I'm gonna step back from talking about drama in a over exaggerated sense because I feel like it's actually warping into something that is extremely unhealthy for me and unhealthy for my viewers, because I don't want to infect them with that level of hatred. I want to inform them on how to actually be better and how to actually transform the environment of the online content creation space instead of contributing to the negativity and contributing to the bad behavior by forming hate mobs, you know? But also, I'm going to be telling people how to actually combat this actual behavior in a realistic way that actually makes sense to actually freaking conducively create change in the online content space, because I do really feel like this is actually a gigantic problem that does need to be dealt with. But that's all I got to say for today. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this content, then please hit that subscribe button. If you want to watch more content like this in the future, then hit that notification bell. And make sure that you actually drink some water this morning. And as always, I would love to tell all of you guys to stay saucy, make sure you stretch, get some breakfast, and yeah, stay beautiful and stay saucy.